Hello and a very good morning. Welcome back to the WorldSkills UK live online International Skills Summit. We are here at day 2. It is the event that is looking at creating new opportunities in technical education for young men and women of all backgrounds to help deliver a skills-led recovery across the UK. And it's a morning where we woke up to 2 pieces of good news, and it's actually remarkably rare that we can say that. We learned that in the 3 months to September, the UK economy bounced back 15.5%, although it did slow down in September. But we must celebrate any piece of good news that we can find. And also we have an extra bank holiday, which is not this year, not next year, but in 2022 to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. I'm old enough to remember the Silver Jubilee, as indeed is our host for these 2 days, Neil Bentley-Gokman, Dr. Neil Bentley-Gokman, OBE, the CEO of WorldSkills UK. Surely not the Silver Jubilee as well.
I remember
surely.
it well. I think I've still got the medal, my mum has somewhere.
Yes, I had that medal too. There were 2 options. You could either have it in a hard plastic case or a little wallet. I got mine in a wallet and I felt a bit cheated. But I still have it and I still remember where it was. We are delighted to have you with us wherever you're watching. Many of you watching in the UK, we know, but also we have viewers from around the world. And as yesterday, you're welcome to feedback and give us questions. Perhaps raise areas of your own expertise that you can let us know. We can put those questions to the panel. You can do so by just clicking on the right-hand side of your screen. It says ask a question, just put your name, and if you can, please remember to place your job title there so we can just reference where you are, and we will ask those questions during the day today. And a fascinating day ahead. We're going to start in a few moments' time with the keynote address from Ken Skates, who's MS Minister for the Economy, Transport and North Wales. But just before, and Ken Skates will be on in literally a minute or so, but just a brief overview, Neil, of the day ahead.
Yeah, so today is all about, after we've heard from Ken, all about our international partners and thinking about, what are those international insights we keep talking about, hearing from Chinese Taipei, Australia, WorldSkills, and thinking about how we embed all of that knowledge into practice in the UK. So there's a great session later on today on our new Centre of Excellence with NCFE. So lots to come on all of that. But kicking us off this morning is, as you said, the Welsh Skills Minister, and I'm really pleased that he's joining us because the Welsh Government have been a fantastic partner for WorldSkills UK over many years. They really get it. They get how to use our work to inspire young people to take up apprenticeships and vocational careers. And they also get the work through the skills competitions of developing young people to a world-class standard. And there's an absolutely fabulous Team Wales culture within Team UK. And, as a young man, I went to Cardiff University, very formative years. So I absolutely love Team Wales within Team UK. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what Ken has to say.
Well, I have lots of fun memories of crossing the Severn Bridge and going to a little flat we used to go to when I was younger in Tenby in the heart of, I suppose, Wales tourism country.
West Wales, yeah.
West Wales. So looking forward to hearing Ken Skates. So without further ado, let's see if Ken Skates is on the line. Ken Skates is MS Minister for the Economy, Transport and North Wales. And it's over to you, Ken, for this morning's keynote opening address. Morning, Ken.
Well, good morning, Simon. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to join you today. I'm sorry that I'm not in a studio. I'm working from home, and the lighting in my home is nowhere near as effective as a studio. So I currently appear pretty darkened. As soon as the sun goes behind a cloud, I should appear a little brighter. But it is fantastic to be able to join you for this event. And can I thank everybody for joining from around the world? It's great to see so many participants on this event for this second day, and I hope it's a very productive and informative second day. Now, obviously, 2020 has been an unparalleled and unprecedented year for everybody, everywhere around the world, including here in Wales. And for many months now, the priority of the Welsh Government's focus has been on tackling both the public health impact and the economic impact of coronavirus and restarting the economy through gradual, Easing of restrictions and reopening different sectors has been a huge endeavour within the Welsh Government, and guidance for businesses, for sectors, for employers and employees have taken up a huge amount of time within the government. But the economy has to come back stronger. We need to bounce back stronger, better, build an economy in which everybody has a better opportunity to secure sustainable and fair work, with opportunities for everybody to participate, to progress, and to secure rewarding, meaningful work that's better for our well-being and our welfare. But in order to secure the economy that we want, we need to ensure that the right infrastructure is in place, and not just the right physical infrastructure, but we have to ensure that we focus very much on people's skills, improving skills levels right across society, because the stronger the skills base in Wales and elsewhere, the better the prospects of securing investment and of growing our Indigenous businesses. And so a skilled and educated workforce will help Wales to attract high value, innovative and knowledge-based businesses and adapt more readily to the changing economic environment that we now face. Now, we're ensuring that we have a flexible and responsive system in Wales that meets the needs of both people and employers, businesses the length and breadth of our country. We have a national strategy, Prosperity for All, which is driving our interventions right across all departments in government, making sure that we tackle some of the deep-seated challenges that the Welsh economy has faced for many years. And in recognition of this, we've committed to provide advanced support for 16 to 18-year-olds who are at risk of being NEET, not in education or employment or training, so that they can be provided with the work experience needed for them to progress, and they will be provided with an allowance when on training. Likewise, we're increasing our Traineeships Program, which focuses on young people aged, again, between 16 and 18 who aren't engaged in post-16 education or employment. They will also receive a training allowance. And the objective of the program is to equip people with skills, qualifications, and work experience to enable them to progress to higher learning or experiencing an apprenticeship. We're also committed to increasing the volume of participants involved in our REACT program, a program that focuses on supporting people who are facing redundancy or have been made redundant very recently. And finally, we are also expanding our personal learning account scheme. This is a hugely important scheme that enables people who are in work to gain the appropriate skills that needed for them to stay in work or to progress into another valuable position, whether it be in the same sector or an alternative sector. And of course, we're looking at those new and emerging technologies, those technologies that could be very disruptive, for example, artificial intelligence and automation, which demand that we have a resilient training and education system. We're responding to industry changes here in Wales and listening to businesses to place Wales in a stronger position in order to deal with the multiple challenges of globalisation, of the decision by the UK to leave the EU, of technological changes, many disruptive changes, including those that are part of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And of course, we have our obligations here in Wales under the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act, a piece of legislation that requires us to act for a fairer and greener future. Now, of course, coronavirus has delivered multiple shocks to the economy, and we're expecting to face very soon further unemployment, underemployment, and economic inactivity. And that's why we announced a £40 million programme to support employability and skills provision in Wales, with a particular focus on young people, including the provision of an incentive for businesses to take on up to 6,000 apprentices. And as part of this, we're also building an apprenticeship system that is based on quality, one that serves the needs of the Welsh economy with specific delivery priorities. And we are delivering shared apprenticeships in construction, in engineering and hospitality within areas of Wales where there's clear market failure. We're also investing £20 million to support degree apprenticeship pilots, and we want to test the effectiveness of this particular provision. We've worked with the Higher Education Funding Council for Wales to create that hybrid programme that has the credibility of an academic degree, but also carries with it the applied industry skills that you'd expect to find within a traditional apprenticeship. And they're going to play a key role in meeting the needs of employers in the future, both in terms of retaining skills locally, aiding local growth, and of course, attracting in new talent. Now, we also continue to respond to the labour market through the gathering of labour market intelligence and through our regional skills partnerships that exist across Wales to ensure that the apprenticeship offer reflects what is really needed right now out there in the economy and what businesses are planning for in the future. And I'm pleased to be able to say that we are on target to smash through the 100,000 apprenticeship figure that we set back in 2016 for this particular government term. We expect to meet that target this month. It's also, of course, very important for us to benchmark skills nationally and internationally via skills competitions. And our Inspiring Skills Excellence in Wales project supports the overall skills agenda in Wales. And the project has been established with an ethos for Team Wales and excellence across Wales, bringing education and industry together with the aim of raising the quality of teaching and learning, which in turn, of course, benefits the economy. And we've gone from strength to strength in terms of our competitiveness at national and international competitions with a consistent representation of 20%. And we've seen competitors thrive. They've excelled beyond their competitions as well, from setting up their own businesses to enrolling on degree level apprenticeships, from moving to teaching to inspire the next generation to get involved in skills competitions. And not only do they grow individually, but they also help their colleagues grow as well. We've noticed time and time again how participants encourage their peers to do better, to strive for more. So as you can see, we continue to invest in the skills system of today and for the future. And we're bringing world-class skills to Wales and supporting particularly young people through our various programs in order to overcome the incredibly difficult challenges that we're facing right now and are likely to face for months, if not years to come. So despite the challenges that 2020 has thrown at us, I'm confident that we can continue to build a stronger and better and more successful future. So thank you for inviting me to speak today, and I hope the rest of the session goes incredibly well.
Ken Skates, MS Minister for Economy, Transport and North Wales, many thanks for joining us live this morning. Thank you for your presence this morning. And we should probably pick up on a number of the points that Ken made. And as I mentioned earlier on, wherever you're watching this Skills Summit, wherever you're watching, maybe in the UK or around the world, you're welcome to join the discussion. You can do so by putting a question. You just press ask a question, put your name and your job title, and we'll place as many of those questions to the panel today in the morning sessions or indeed this afternoon as we can. So a number of important issues raised there, amongst them this very crucial programme REACT, which looks about dealing with those people who are facing or have faced redundancy, and unfortunately, as Ken referred to, those figures are likely to rise. I mean, yes, there was some positive economic news this morning that I mentioned earlier, but the serious backdrop is incredibly serious for a huge number of people. He spoke about this importance of bringing skills to enable people to succeed in their current job and alternative work, and the 100,000 apprentices figures and benchmarking skills via competition. All things actually that you have espoused and embraced with WorldSkills UK.
Yes, and I think it was great to hear Ken talking about our work together with the Welsh Government and how it is not just about, obviously huge challenges and issues that young people in Wales and adults are facing as a result of the coronavirus situation, but great to see how the Welsh Government is dealing with that and how they're integrating the work with us into their planning and using benchmarking as a way to inspire the next generation, because the work we've been doing with them has become really embedded in their thinking in sort of policy and practice, as Ken was outlining. And I think it's so important that we are continuing to work with the Welsh Government, because as he was also saying, for the medium to long term, really thinking about how the Welsh economy is changing in response to global challenges, and we are working with them, looking at their industrial strategy and the changes they want to bring forward, with more digital skills and STEM skills, to make sure the work we're doing together helps the Welsh Government not just inspire and develop young people to world-class standards, as he was talking about, but is really aligned with the skills needs for their economy. And so that's work that we're doing with them right now. And that's important because it's about acting now to make sure we're securing a better future. And that's something I know, through our work with the Welsh Government and the Inspiring Excellence in Wales programme, that we're really keen to drive forward on over the next few years, because taking that medium to long-term approach is absolutely essential now.
Well, let's cross, if we can, to another front room or loft or conservatory or some kind of extension. Let's see where Marion Plant, OBE FCGI Principal and CEO of North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, joining us. Marion, where exactly? I can't even tell. You've got a very good vanilla background there, which gives nothing away. Morning, welcome to the International Skills Summit this morning.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Neil. And good morning, everyone who's joined the summit. I'm in my kitchen, Simon, but
Fantastic.
I've removed all clutter behind me.
Neil's is 2 sugars. Marion, the last time we met was this time last year at the NEC, and before that in Kazan. And I wonder for you how things have changed. I mean, there are some positives that I think we've all tried to squeeze out of the last 8 months, but there's huge numbers of challenges as well.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, life has changed, but some things, haven't changed. Logistically, the world of running colleges and schools has become quite a nightmare, and anyone in that business will understand the daily operational issues about closing bubbles and, managing infection. But I am really working hard with my staff community to keep our sights above and beyond the impact of the coronavirus, because do you know what? The long-term vision for our young people is fixed. And in some ways, we need to become more ambitious now. And that's where our very close partnership working over many years with WorldSkills UK has become more important than ever, I guess, because what competitions give to our students are that sense of aspiration and that opportunity to move from just being competent in their chosen skills to becoming a. And while it is very difficult now to run on-site competitions, we've moved a lot of our activity digitally, and we are hunting and working with our networks, including our new network, the Centre of Excellence, to look at different ways that we can use to continue to inspire the ambition in our thousands of students. So we're keeping our sights firmly on the long term. We recognise in the short and medium term the challenges facing young people moving out into the workplace are greater than ever, and in fact, in some cases, really, really very, very huge. Therefore, we've got to do even more to make them the very best young people with the very best chance of being able to move into good jobs and careers.
At home who don't know, you're also Deputy Chair of WorldSkills UK, and I wonder what you thought of some of the comments that we heard from Ken Skates earlier on. I mean, he was very, very clear about the importance of improving skills through international competition, and also about benchmarking, international benchmarking, and striving to be the best, but first of all, to understand what the best is.
Yes, and it was great listening to Ken, because on a college level, some of the Welsh colleges are our greatest competitors, so they stretch us, and the activities in Wales have always been remarkable, and it sounds like they're stepping up even further. So how exciting is that? But we are keen to use benchmarking both across the UK, also to utilise via WorldSkills UK the international networks that we're privileged to access, to look at how we can scale up the performance using the best practice in countries across the world. But, you look at the obvious countries like Switzerland, and you kind of look at why are they more productive as an economy than we are, and what is the skills and the way skills are delivered in Switzerland that we can learn from. And competitions are just a good way of bringing together that learning and trialling it at local level. So that's why I think the role of international skills benchmarking right now in the current economy is far greater than ever it has been.
And without, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do a bit of England versus Wales. I just wonder your own experiences with your own colleges. Let's include the rest of the world. England v the rest of the world. We can do a World Cup special of your own experiences of taking part in those international competitions, because I think for the uninitiated, the sheer scale of certainly what we're seeing, the modern versions of these, what we saw in Kazan and what we may well see in Shanghai, probably defy anyone who does not know. Anyone's expectations will be completely smashed by what they see. What have your experiences been, and what have the experiences of your teams been?
So I think you're asking me, sorry, I was just a little pause there. My experience as anyone who has been privileged to attend, and not just also the national, actually, at Live, as a college principal of many years, and I won't state how many, but I've been in this game for a long time. Those are career-defining moments for me. What my sort of experiences at these events do are stretch my ambition. They actually, every time I go to one, make me realise there's a higher level of excellence to move towards. And so once I get that motivation, I bring it back then to the communities over which I have a level of influence. And I am even more ambitious for the college students and apprentices that I'm responsible for. So I bring that ambition back to the college. And I have to say, our college has worked for many years. And as you know, we were the best performing college in England at the last Live competition. And it's not just the handful of students who have the privilege, but actually the ripple effect back across the college. And I want to say at all levels of learning, because I have a particular passion for those students who face challenges, those with specific educational needs and disabilities. And I'm a great supporter of the inclusive skills competition, because at every level, and we often focus on the higher levels, don't we? But at every level, when young people get involved in competitions, they step up, and then they step up again, and they step up, and it's all about exceeding their expectations. The most significant moment for me was when a young student who joined us at 14 with no sense of direction, got involved in brickwork, did a brickwork apprentice, went on to competitions, won a medallion of excellence at Calgary, me afterwards and said, working with skills competitions has enabled me to exceed my expectations, to exceed the expectations of my family, and to exceed the expectations of the community in which I live and work. And for me, that was as much as I've ever needed to keep me motivated, make sure that opportunity is available to as many young people at all levels as is possible.
All right, that is fascinating, and I know it will be uplifting to not only those people who are watching and perhaps have not yet been involved in international competition, but also those of the training managers and those who work very, very hard behind the scenes to make these events work, that actually their work pays off. At this point, I'm going to put Neil and you together for a second, because obviously we have Neil as CEO and we have Marion Plant, who's Deputy Chair of WorldSkills UK, just maybe talking about some of the challenges and opportunities ahead for the two of you in the last couple of minutes we have left. Yeah, so I mean, Marion is absolutely spot on in terms of how she describes the impact of our work in terms of for young people and how it motivates them and makes them aspire to do better, and the impact that it has then as the ripple effect, as Marion describes it. And I guess for us, our ambition is to to set a new level of ambition and take that ripple effect right across the UK, and really embed our knowledge and our know-how that we get from international benchmarking into all colleges, into skills systems across the UK, and through setting up the Centre of Excellence and a new innovation network as well. Our ambition is really to make sure that we're having a practical difference to more and more young people through our work, and by embedding and mainstreaming all of our work,
using the international know-how, using that benchmarking, using all of that best practice and innovation to drive up the standard that young people should be expecting from technical education and apprenticeships, so that they succeed, their employers succeed, and the economy succeeds better. And that is the level of our new ambition for WorldSkills UK.
Anything you want to ask each other? Because I feel like I'm now in the middle of a WorldSkills UK Zoom call, which in a way I suppose I am. We've got about a minute left. Maybe there's something that you've never really wanted to ask each other that you felt you needed a mediator here for.
I guess as Deputy Chair and speaking on behalf, I hope, of the whole of the trustee body, we are very, very supportive of the team, and what we're pushing is agility and resilience at the moment. We have, if you like, the know-how. We keep increasing that. We want to find ways in the context of practical challenges at the moment to get that know-how out into the system to ultimately give the UK economy the very best chance of recovery.
All right, many thanks to both of you, and also, of course, many thanks to Ken Skates, MS, Minister for Economy, Transport of North Wales, and to Marion Plant, OBEF CGI Principal and CEO, North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, and also, of course, to Dr Neil Bentley-Gockman, OBE, who is CEO of WorldSkills UK. We will be back with our next session in around about 5 minutes' time at 10 a.m. Where and what next for global skills excellence? Keep your questions coming through, and we will see you in a few moments.